Already. So guys, before I forget, for the next lab, you need the fetal pigs, right? So you need one fetal pig per table. I mean, everybody at one table can have one fetal pig. So it will help you to pay less. Because I think that you're, if I'm right, you're between $25 to $30.
It was $39.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, do we share it, huh?
Exactly. I mean,
Is it from all school fees?
it's not a big deal, is it? If it's a I think that still you think that it's hard. I think that that's good if we can have one for each table, because you will enjoy it. You will be the surgeons and do the surgery. I think that you will like it. But in case that for anybody it's hard to pay, we can condense the groups together to have less. Let me know. But I think that one per table would be fair. That's my opinion.
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do today, guys, are the chapter 39 and chapter 40 of your lab manual, female reproductive system, and then we'll go over the development, the things that we can see on the models. And for the male reproductive system, we'll talk next week. Okay, so next week we'll talk about the male reproductive system. We'll do the fetal pig dissection, and that would be the last lab that we have together. The week after it, that's your final lab practical, which includes also the quiz for the fetal. Is it clear? All right. So before we start it, let me say thank you, Jeff. I just heard that you provided very beautiful videos for everybody and you uploaded on the YouTube. Thank you very much. I thank you on behalf of everybody here.
Thank you.
So let's go over the female reproductive system first. So you guys remember that in the female reproductive system we have some organs. Huh? What are the organs that you have in the female reproductive system? The major organ: uterus, ovaries, fallopian tubes or uterine tubes. What else? Cervix is a part of the uterus, and the vagina. And then you have the external genitalia in female, right? So these are the major organs that you have. So here it starts with the ovaries. You guys know that the ovaries are the major glands, or the major sex glands that you have in female. So how many ovaries do you have? Two. What's the major function of the ovaries in general?
Production of
the secondary oocyte and the production of the estrogen and progesterone. So like the testis that we have in the male, and it's responsible for production of the sperm and secretion of the testosterone. Here we have the ovaries responsible for the production of the secondary oocyte, and also now that I think that I'm on the YouTube, I feel stressed out. I'm anxious. I'm not by myself. So ovaries, where we can see the ovaries. So we have just a few of the female reproductive system today, because we are sharing with another lab, but hopefully we'll have more for your lab practical. But this is the best one that we have here, that you can see almost everything that you need on it. So here we'll start with the ovaries. So here you can see just one of the ovaries. That's the yellow structure here. That's the ovary, right? This is the ovary, right? Did you see that, Jeff? This is the ovary. So this is the gland that we are talking about. And you guys know that the ovaries are placed in, they are kept in their place by some ligaments. The most important ligament that you have to know is the ligament which connects the ovaries into the uterus. That's this ligament here that we call it ovarian ligament. This ligament, where my finger is ovarian ligament, which connects the ovary to the uterus. Let me show it to the other guys over there. So guys, where my finger is here is the ovarian ligament. Ovarian ligament connects the ovary into the wall of the uterus. You see that area? Guys, this side, this is the ovarian ligament. The ovarian ligament connects the ovary to the wall of the uterus. All right. And then the next thing that you have in your handout is the uterine tube. So you guys know that the uterine tube is the tube which connects the not actually connecting, it's not directly connected to the ovary, but it's very close to the ovary on one side, and on the other side is connected to the wall of the uterus. We call it uterine tube, right? What's the major function of the uterine tube? To receive and receiving, and also the movement of the secondary oocyte and the sperm, and also after meeting, after having the love date, you will have the zygote, right? And then the one of the responsibilities is the movement of the zygote toward the uterus cavity. All right. So you guys remember that so this is the uterine tube all the way from here to here. This is the uterine tube. Uterine tube is very close to the ovary. Here you see that they are connected, but actually they are not connected, but they are very close. See them at the all the way. This is the uterus.
This is ovarian ligament.
This is the ovarian ligament. This is another ligament that you are not responsible for, but this is ovarian ligament, and this is the
There are two tubes connected.
Of course, yes. You have two ovaries on both sides. Here you can see just one of them. You have two ovaries on both sides, and two uterine tubes, and then two ovarian ligaments which connect, right? So you guys remember that the uterine tube consists of some major parts, right? The first part of the uterine tube is called infundibulum. Infundibulum is the part of the uterine tube which is connected to the fimbria. Don't worry about the name of the fimbria for the test, but know that these finger-like structures are fimbria, and the first part of the uterine tube which is connected to the fimbria is called what? Infundibulum. So this is the infundibulum. This area is the infundibulum, right? And these are fimbria. Infundibulum and fimbria. All right. This is infundibulum, the first part of the uterine tube, and these are fimbria. Do you see them area? Infundibulum and fimbria. Do you see them, guys? Yes, Harriet? Harriet seems that has a hard time seeing them. Look, these are the finger-like structures are fimbria. Don't worry about them. Just the first part, which is connected to the fimbria, is the infundibulum. Okay? Infundibulum. And then the next part of the uterine tube, guys, is called ampulla. Ampulla is as you remember, is the largest part and the widest part of the uterine tube. You see that? This is where it says number 8 here. This is the ampulla. Ampulla is very important. Why ampulla is very important? That's where the date is, exactly. The date between the sperm and the secondary oocyte happens here, where we call it what, actually?
It shows up.
It's called the ampulla. 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 You see that where it says number 8? The widest. The largest. Everybody. Number 8. You see number 8?
Also.
That's where it says number 8. Everybody has it.
Number 10 is 10.
Then the last part of the infundibulum, of the uterine tube is the part which connects to the uterus. Is the narrowest part of it that we call it isthmus. So this is the isthmus when it connects to the uterus, and it's the narrowest part here. This is isthmus. So if I put the pointer somewhere here, I mean infundibulum here, I mean
The dating.
ampulla. If I put it here, I mean isthmus.
What if you say the dating place?
The what?
The ampulla.
Ampulla. Dating place, ampulla. Fimbria and the infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. Fimbria and infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. Fimbria and ampulla. Yes, you have the good one here. Thank you. Yes. Fimbria and infundibulum. This is ampulla here. This is isthmus. So ampulla is almost in the middle. It's somewhere here. And it's the largest part.
Can you do it again? Can you?
Curves down. That's right.
Can you turn
Yada,
it?
what's the problem? Do you have any problem? Yes, what's that? You're fine.
Can you say it again for the camera?
Sure. For cameraman. Fimbria and infundibulum. This is the ampulla. This is isthmus.
Okay.
Okay. Raymond, you saw that? Yeah. fimbria and infundibulum. This is ampulla here, and this is isthmus. And then you have the, what's that? Fimbria are the finger-like structures, but I won't ask you about them because it's not on the list. But you know that the part of it which connects to the fimbria here is the infundibulum. All right. And then the uterus. The uterus is the next major organ that you have in the female reproductive system. So the whole thing here, all the way, this is the uterus. Right, Jeffrey? The whole thing is the uterus. And then the uterus has some major parts, huh? On the top, the dome-shaped structure that you have here, this is called fundus. So this is the fundus of the uterus here. This is fundus. Fundus. And then you have the body. The body is the major part of the uterus. All the way here you have the body. This is the body. This is body here. Body. And then you have the cervix. The cervix is the part, the inferior part of the uterus, which extends inside the vagina. So where my fingers are, this is the cervix.
Just that place?
Just that place, just a small part. You can see that it penetrates into the vagina. This is vagina. The part which goes into it, and it has kind of, what do you call it?
Teeth.
What do you call this?
Groups.
Not the grooves.
Teeth.
Like a zigzag thing. This is the cervix. It penetrates into the vagina here. So where my fingers is, this is the cervix. That's the end. The narrower end of the uterus. Okay. All right. And then the cervical canal, of course, is the canal that you have here. Huh? This is the cervix, the canal, the space that you have here in the middle, the space here. This is the cervical canal.
This part? Because
Yes.
this is the vagina.
Yeah, this is the vagina, yes. The space that you have here in the middle is called cervical canal.
Okay.
Doesn't include the rest of the.
It's in the cervix?
Yeah, cervix is the narrower and the inferior part of the uterus, mostly. And then the space that you have inside it is called, this is called the uterus cavity, the cavity that you have in the middle. And the space that you have in the cervix here, this is called the cervical canal. Cervical canal is one of the important parts of the birth canal. So the head of the fetus will pass through it and goes into the vagina. So this is the cervical canal.
And that's what they consider effaced?
It is.
Okay, so when this is separate. When
That's
the- and then-
dilated. Effaced is when it's turned.
Yeah.
Okay, so say that again?
When it broadens, it's when it's dilated.
Yeah, that's the
When it
part with
opens.
which we dilated. During the
Effacing is
dilation-
turning.
Yeah, the
What do you mean
cervical-
turning?
I don't know how to explain effacement. It's a good question. I don't know how to explain.
See, I thought when this widens, that's dilation.
Yeah. Yes.
But I thought effacement meant the thinning of it.
Yes. It is
Okay,
the thinning.
okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So I just didn't say it eloquently.
Totally.
I'm proud of you. So yes, the cervix is the part which will dilate during the dilation of the. Do you remember that the first phase of the delivery is called dilation phase? So during the dilation, cervix will be completely dilated into 10 centimeters, which is the full dilation, and then delivery will happen. So cervix and cervical canal are the parts of the uterus that we have to know one more time. This is fundus. The major part here all the way is the body. This is the cervix. And inside the cervix, the canal that we have here is called cervical canal. And then we have to know the 3 layers that we have in the uterus wall. In the uterus wall, we have 3 layers. The innermost one here, guys, what you have in pink and orange, is called endometrium, right? So this is the endometrium. What is it? You should tell me. Endometrium is the innermost layer of the cervix.
And you shed the superficial
In the wall
layer.
of the uterus, you have 3 layers. From inside to the outside, what are the three layers?
Endometrium,
Myometrium,
and
perimetrium. This is endometrium, what you have in pink and orange here. You see that? It's just next to the uterus cavity. It's just next to the lumen. You see that, Carla? The pinkish and the orange
Well done.
area here is the endometrium. And then the middle layer, which is the thickest one, what you have here in, is that pink, Jeffrey? Yes. What you have in pink here, the middle layer, which is the thickest layer, is called myometrium. Myometrium is called myometrium because it consists of what?
Muscles.
Muscles. What type of the muscles you have here? Smooth muscles. So function is involuntary. You cannot control the contraction of your uterus, can you?
Well, he doesn't
No,
have
Missy
one.
cannot.
Can you?
Endometrium. And then the line that you have around everything here in orange again with dots, these dots want to show you the blood vessels, Jeffrey. So the outer layer here, the outermost layer is the perimetrium, which is actually the visceral peritoneum. Do you remember visceral peritoneum? So the visceral peritoneum, which covers here, is called perimetrium. And the dots here, blue and red ones, want to show you the blood vessels. So they want to show you that the blood vessels, arteries, and veins will enter the uterus through the perimetrium. So this is the perimetrium, the outermost line. You see them? Perimetrium. Okay. So the layers of the uterus wall, make sure that you know them. Definitely I will ask you in the test, one of those. So if I put the, then that's easy. If I put the pointer here, I mean endometrium here in the middle, I mean myometrium around
Peri.
it. Perimetrium. And then the uterine cavity, of course, my baby knows that the uterine cavity is the cavity that you have in the middle.
My
That's
baby.
the space. She's
Baby's
not a
smarter
baby
than
anymore.
us.
She's 3.5, but
She's still a baby.
but she will be always a baby for me. So this is the uterus cavity.
Is it the same as the